Welcome to the TV and Movie Review Show, bringing you a review on the latest TV shows and movies. So let's jump into it. Hope you enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, how are you doing out there? This is Jazzy929. This is my show, Random Reviews. Here I go ahead and discuss my review of TV shows and movies. With that being said, I want to let y'all all know that I appreciate y'all listening in to the show. That means a lot to me. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my review. I will be reviewing American Horror Stories. We are in season 9, y'all, and this is episode 1. I am sick at the time, so please forgive me for the way I sound. I have to say this episode was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for a long time to actually watch this. I'm sorry about that, y'all. But I've been wanting to watch this for a very long time. And it was worth the wait, I think. You know what I'm saying? That first episode. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my review. We see, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, of this episode, that a group of friends are setting out for the summer, you know what I'm saying, to this camp. It's called Camp Redwood for counseling. They're going to be counseling, you know what I'm saying, the camp. So all these characters, Brooke, Chad, if that's his name, Xavier, Montana, Margaret, she owns the camp. We see Ray, we see a Trevor, we see, that's the characters, you know what I'm saying, that were set out to be the counselors. In the beginning of this episode, we see them doing aerobics class, and to me, you know what I'm saying, the aerobics class was very inappropriate, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I guess it wasn't inappropriate for an adult, but for a kid, you know what I'm saying, I think if they would have watched that was very inappropriate. I thought it was very sexist, but maybe it was just me. Y'all just let me know what y'all thought, because there was a lot of pumping, you know what I'm saying, and all types of stuff going on that aerobic, during that aerobic, what would we call it, goddamn class, I guess. During that time, we see that everybody gets together, and they decide to go ahead and Brooke actually gets invited to join everybody else, and she gets invited by everybody else to go ahead and become a counselor for the camp, but she tells them that it's something that she'll think about. We see that Brooke is the good girl. Chad, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name. He's the stud to me. Xavier is the cute boy. He's like a Zach from Saved by the Bell. That's what he reminds me of. We see Montana. Montana's completely the whore. I mean, it's just that simple. She seems like the whorish type to me. We see Margaret. She's the owner of the camp, like I said. And we see the Ray. Ray's the black boy. That's the way I describe him, y'all. Then we see Trevor. He is the activist. We also have a nurse in there, you know what I'm saying, that's in the show, too, that we see. And we've seen the stalker, which is supposed to be Richard, which I thought was so nice. And another character we see in there is Mr. Jingles, which is the killer. So anyway, let me get back to these notes that I have. We see that like I said, Brooke decides to go ahead and tell them that it's something that she'll think about. She goes home, and while she's at home, we see the Night Stalker come into her house, you know what I'm saying, and attack her, but he doesn't actually kill her. He does threaten to kill her, though, later on. So she decides to go to the camp with the others, which I don't understand why she would do that. After someone tries to come and kill you, you would decide to go to the woods with somebody, but I don't know. We see that on our way to the camp, they go ahead and do the typical things that we see or we have seen in 80s horror movies, the kids getting high and talking a bunch of crap, you know what I'm saying? So the whole 80s feel is what gets me. I love it. They're like right on it, you know what I'm saying? we see that the kids get out there and they have a night like a usual night at the camp, and which we've seen in other horror movies, and they're telling ghost stories, and they tell a story about something that happened there 1970 if I'm not mistaken, and there was a killer that came to the camp, and we had seen a scene from there, and Mr. Jingles had came in the camp and killed a numerous it was a mass slaying there in that camp, and he took their ears. Why he takes the people's ears, I don't know. And I guess they call him Mr. Jingles because he runs around with keys and he picks the keys off of dead bodies or something. That whole situation right there just is like, I don't understand why he picks up these keys and why he's collecting ears. But hopefully we'll find out that later on in this season. Then we see that Margaret comes to the campground and she tells them, like, yeah, the story is real. And I basically got the proof of it because her ears missing. We see that Margaret was a part of the group that was attacked by Mr. Jingles and killed, because a lot of them was killed. She was the only survivor. And she tells her story about how she laid there and she survived and things like that. And then we go to a moment where they're all in a cabin, and we see the nurse in there with them. We see that Trevor comes in and they meet Trevor. But one thing that I did forget to speak about was on their way up to the cabin, they hit this man. And they take him back to the camp, and he is treated by a nurse, and he is left to go ahead and rest in the nurse's cabin. And during that time, we see him in this episode, and he's steady trying to warn them. You know what I'm saying? Then we find out that he ends up getting killed by Mr. Jingles, I'm assuming, and he's on the wall, and Brooke swears up and down, you know what I'm saying, after she runs to tell the other people about the whole situation, that Mr. Jingles killed this guy, which is I cannot remember the hiker's name. I'm gonna just call him a hiker, yo. And by the time Brooke takes the other people to this cabin, the nurse's station, the nurse's cabin, to see that the man is dead. There's nobody no longer there, and Brooke is all covered up with mud because she fell on her way to the other cabin where everybody was. She had fell over, so of course tripped on something and fell. That's just one thing I want to, you know what I'm saying, put out there. But the guy was no longer there or whatnot, and then Brooke looked like she's crazy. We see that, let me see. Something I did like, I want to know in this episode, I like the whole Michael Myers thing that comes with Mr. Jingles. It's like a Michael Myers thing, you know, say feel you get off of Mr. Jingles. Also, you get a Jason feel off of Mr. Jingles. It's between Michael Myers and Jason. The part I did like was the escape, you know what I'm saying, that they showed that he did, you know what I'm saying, escaping from the crazy house. And then something that bothers me about this whole character of Mr. Jingles is I'm not getting to feel like I would want what Michael Myers, for instance. Like, say, for instance, we get a feel of fear with Michael Myers because you don't see his face. With this Mr. Jingles thing, you see his face, and this whole situation is getting boring to me already. Like, I don't want to see this dude's face. I'm not scared of him. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, you know, I guess. We see some strange stuff on this show where the phone booth call, you know what I'm saying? They got a phone booth out there. We find out that the stalker is calling Brooke and telling her basically, you know what I'm saying, he was going to get her, and then they show the stalker. I think that it's amazing how they picked a character that looked just like the Night Stalker, the original Night Stalker. That was just incredible. We see that Mr. Jingle shows up at the camp, and you know what I'm saying, he kills, like I said, he kills the guy they actually hit when they was on their way to the camp. I like the little nurse lady. She was so amazing. Her character's good. What else? Let's note that Patrick Swayze's brother, he dies in this episode. He actually was the guy that was working in a mechanic shop and got squashed by the car or whatnot and died. And I liked, you know what I'm saying, I like the fact that they, you know what I'm saying, if it didn't nobody out there besides me know, I'm pretty sure there is, that was Patrick Swayze's brother. It was good to see him in the movie, or in a show, y'all. He was the gas attendant, sorry. What else? Charles Keating is a crooked there, y'all. I wanted to note that. Because some people didn't get that little skit they did right there, the little joke they did or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, about Charles Keating. Some people don't even know who he is. He was a guy, you know what I'm saying, a crooked guy that was featured in a savings and loan scandal back in the 80s and 90s. I like the fact that they have that Carrie feel. There was a Carrie feel that I wonder if anybody else noticed when Brooke was covered up in the mud. You know what I'm saying? If you look at that scene, you know what I'm saying, and look at the scene of Carrie when she's covered in blood, there's similarities. I want to know if anybody else noticed that. That was just amazing. There's little things like that stand out in here, and I wonder if anybody's, you know what I'm saying, actually seeing this besides me. I'm pretty sure there is, but I want to know if any of my listeners are actually seeing these things with me too. That's basically it that I got out of this episode right here. It was pretty good though, and I can't wait to see more of it. I don't think I'm missing too much more detail out of my notes or about the show that happened in the first episode. If you think of anything, feel free to go ahead and leave it under my episode. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Thank you all for listening, and feel free to go over and join the Facebook group. Okay, thank you all for listening in.
Find Talking Out Loud with Jazzy 929 at Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Castbox, Deezer, Soundcloud, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Find merch at Redwood. Hi, Royal.